Hey guys, so I've been hearing and seeing quite a few articles reporting on marriage rates being at a historic low, not just in the US, but across the globe. Some of the contributing reasons they present are the widening of income and wealth inequality, rising student loan debt, rising cost of living, people believing marriage is an outdated concept, and finally, the increase in education creating an increase in the income of women, thus allowing women to be picky about who they marry. While all of these add a heavy load to someone thinking about marriage, I want to go in more depth about the woman's role in the decline of marriage. The fight for women's rights and equality have, in my opinion, done more damage than it was intended to, especially with this new age feminism wave that took off in the start of 2000s. It created and promoted way too many choices and opportunities for women who, frankly, did not know what to do with them. If you know the nature of a woman, they are very fickle. They want one thing only to change their minds the next minute. This is actually proven in, let's take a department store, for example, Nordstrom. When you walk in, you might see a small little section for the men's off in a corner somewhere, whereas you'll have whole floors dedicated to women. Not to mention, by the way, that a woman is able to spend hours and hours at the mall. Okay, another example. Guys, if you open up your lady's makeup drawer or even walk into her closet, you'll understand what I mean. Look at all the magazines that are constantly reporting the new fashion trends for this season and for the next season. My point is that you give a woman too many choices, she will not know what to do with them and spend hours and hours deciding on whether this decision is correct or if this decision looks better. Get what I mean? The infinite number of dating sites and dating apps have not done women a favor either. Women have been bombarded with way too many potential suitors. Whatever happened to dating someone you knew through a mutual friend? Because let me tell you, at least for me, it's unnerving to meet up with a guy and potentially get into a relationship with a total random stranger who's done who knows what from who knows where. That also tells you a lot about a woman who's comfortable with that kind of situation. I mean, it's a known fact that these sites are full of no boundary having women. So you have all these modern women out here today being carefree and liberating with their sacred womanhood. Let me tell you something. No matter what anyone says, a man's value comes from his resources, which, by the way, potentially lasts a lifetime if he's smart enough to make that happen. A woman's value comes from her looks, her purity, her youth, attractiveness, etc., etc. All of these things subside pretty quickly, usually until her man or her husband uses it up. It's not everlasting like her man's tangible resources, or like she likes to think it will. You just cannot play around and think it's always going to be available to you when you're ready. One of the girls I work with was telling me she had FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. She couldn't make up her mind about a guy because she was always worrying that there was somebody better out there, thinking the grass was greener on the other side. My mom, she read me a story when I was a kid about this dog who had a bone. He was so happy with his bone and never let his bone go. One day he was walking and saw a pond. He saw the reflection of himself in the water and saw another dog with what he thought was a bigger bone. He wanted that bone so bad, and not realizing that it was just a reflection, he opened his mouth to grab the, quote, other dog's bone and dropped his bone in the water. Moral of the story is that he was so greedy and forgot how happy his bone made him and ended up with no bone in the end. This story is a lesson for both sexes, not just women. You gotta remember, if you could do better, you would be with better. Never forget that. But you guys leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Bye!